We move smarter because we're smart movers. Ladies and gentlemen, I got my hot cup of coffee, and we are headed over to the West Coast for this one, Washington State, the Evergreen State. We're going to get right into it. Less than 15 right now to go to finish these state reviews. And I can't thank you guys enough for watching these videos, subscribing and liking and commenting. So we're going to get right into it, guys. This one has no state income tax. It's the 7th most tax-friendly state. Tech and aerospace epicenters happening here. Stunning natural beauty. You got the mountains, the coastline, the rainforest. Top-tier healthcare and education. And if you're in that engineering field, I think this is the spot for you. Progressive policies, if you love that. Paid family leave. The higher minimum wage that they have. The population trends goes as follows. 7.9 million. It's the 13th largest state. The net migration, they're positive 82,000 a year coming, staying. They have people moving in 220,000. They got people moving out 138,000. Now, let me see if I could find out why people are moving in so we could get a little clearer with that. I don't think I have that on this report here. Oh, yeah, we do. So who's moving in? Tech workers, 38% of the 220 coming in. Tech workers, Seattle, Bellevue, job boom is happening. California refugees, they're always escaping California and going somewhere. Washington's right there. Why not? They're escaping the high cost of living over in California. Healthcare professionals, they're coming in. There's world-class hospitals in Washington. Outdoor enthusiasts for unmatched nature access, there's 10% of those are coming in and staying and loving Washington State. Who's moving out? Retirees. They're seeking lower cost in Idaho and Arizona. Middle-class families, they're priced out of housing. And wait till we get to the housing bit. You're going to see a whole different story there. Remote workers, they're actually moving out. They're taking salaries. They're taking their salaries. They're up and leaving. And they're saying, hey, listen, my salary could stretch a little further in another state. So those are the three classes moving out. Seattle Metro gains more tech jobs than San Francisco Bay Area since 2020. I'm not sure if you remember what San Francisco looked like in 2020 to 2023. It was crazy. The downtown area, it actually was very surprising. I've been to San Francisco. I didn't go downtown or anything. I just flew in, stood there for a day, and then flew out. I just had a meeting there. It was beautiful. Like, I really wanted to go check it out. I didn't, but I did see some videos after COVID. It was astonishing to see such a beautiful city deteriorate like that. But at the same time, I'm not there. I can't speak on that in context or deeper than just saying what I saw in the video. So Spokane is the fastest growing city in the Pacific Northwest right now. The job market is as follows. 3.9, it's just about the national average. The average salary is $85K, the 5th highest nationally. That's what you need to kind of be comfortable in Washington. But that's what the average salary is across the board. The top industries, you got technology, you got aerospace, you got healthcare, and you got agriculture. So they're good top industries in the state, depending on where you are in your life. Healthcare, aerospace engineers, you got Boeing, SpaceX, suppliers there. UW Medicine, Providence, agriculture, they're the #1 apple producer and wine industry. What? They got the wine industry in Washington. Technology, you got Amazon. Who doesn't have Amazon? Microsoft. And there's about 3,000 plus startups in technology. The recent economic wins that's coming out of Washington, you got an 8 billion chip factory coming to Vancouver, Washington. You got Boeing 737 MAX production surge. Now, the 737 MAX, that's not the same as that is it the 737 Neo that was given a problem? One of them bad boys was giving us a problem here. But the 737 MAX, I don't know, probably Southwest uses that. All right, so AI Research Hub forming in Bellevue. So they're doing the good old work of AI in Washington. Let's talk about the housing market because, again, This is where we're going to see the disparity. This is where we're going to see if you could really afford the state. And then in combination with the taxes, right? So Seattle, the median home price is well above the national average. It's $850,000. That's seen a decrease, though, of 2% year over year. And the average rent in Seattle, you're looking at about $2,200. Bellevue, it's worse, okay? Bellevue is 1.4 milli, baby. That's a big M. And that's seen a percent increase year over year. The average rent there is $2,600. Again, guys, just so you know, it's a one bedroom. It's a one bedroom. Spokane, that's $425,000 median home price. That's seen a 5% year over year change, but the average rent is much lower than all these other top areas in Washington. It's $1,400. So Spokane is kind of the affordable place if you're coming in on a budget, right? Bellingham is $575,000 for their median home price. That's seen an increase of 3%, and the average rent for one bedroom is $1,650. So the trends we're seeing is that Seattle's having a cooling period after the 2022 peak in real estate. Eastern Washington is still affordable. You can look at the map, guys. I put the map there for your convenience. So that's Spokane, right? Eastern Washington still affordable. Tri-Cities are under $350K. Rent is up, though, 6% year over year in secondary markets. So the best value areas that you're seeing is going to be Tacoma, emerging tech hubs, Olympia, government jobs, and Wenatchee. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. You could go ahead and correct me if you want. Apple Country Charm is what's happening in Wenatchee. All right. Cost of living. This is where we're going to take a bite out of crime here. Cost of living, taxes, income tax. Like we said, it's a zero income tax state, but they do have a 7% capital gains tax if greater than $250K. So if you're seeing anything more than $250K, you're going to pay 7% on that when it's realized. Sales tax, 6.5% sales across the board, plus local. Now, in other local areas, it could go up as far as 10.5% in some cities. So 6.5% on the lower side, up to 10.5% in some cities. Now, gas tax, they do have a gas tax, and it's the third highest nationwide, and it's 49.4 cents per gallon. So that's a tax that you're paying when you head to the fuel pump in Washington. Hidden costs, there's car tabs. The weight and the RTA taxes, it could range anywhere from $200 to $800 plus on a car tab. I have no idea what that is. But Washington, wow. Homeowner insurance, 25% above the average because of the earthquake risk, the flood risk that you could have there. So people are seeing that. An electrical vehicle registration, you're looking at $225 a year. Here's some of the financial perks. No tax on Social Security. They do have paid family and medical leave and free community college for qualifying residents. Go check out what the qualifications are. I don't know. Free community college for qualifying residents. Let's talk about the healthcare landscape. I put this one in there because, again, in North Carolina, I dropped that video without the healthcare info and I threw it up. Guess what? Somebody came back and said, they're the highest in the nation. I mean, the premiums are high. This is commercially insured from your employer. Individuals that came up and said, we can't afford healthcare in North Carolina. So I wanted to add it in. I added it in yesterday, in my last video. So now we're going to continue this trend here with healthcare. Let's talk about it. The average employer health plan costs the family $22,500 a year. The doctor visits is lower than the national average. You're looking at about $130 for a doctor visit versus $150 national average. I had figured out a loophole, right? And I tried to use the loophole probably a couple months ago. I went to the doctor. And the loophole is if you go to the doctor for anything preventative, right? So let's say you're going for your physical, your yearly checkup. Let's say you go to the dentist for cleaning only. But let's say you had a pre-existing thing that you wanted to explain or deal with in that visit. You can't. You have to have two separate visits for that. One is preventative and the other is for any concern. Because they're billed out differently. A preventative is billed out much lower than, any issues or concern that you come. Like, hey, I'm feeling sick. I got to go to the doctor. That's a different visit than a preventative. So I try to tie in the preventative and then be like, oh, doc, I got this pain right here. They're like, yeah, right. Cut it out. Okay, cut it out. That's another visit. I said, but wait, I have to make another appointment today and then come back in and do the whole thing again. I had to do it the same day. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. You guys think you're slick. But that's how the system works, guys. ER visit, $1,800 trauma centers add a premium when you go to the ER. So we have top hospitals though, UW Medical Center. That's number 1 in the Northwest. Virginia Mason, Franciscan Health, and Providence Sacred Heart. Notable issues: psychiatrists shortage. Why I can't say that word is beyond me. Only 14 per every 100K residents. So if you want to be a psychiatrist, then I think that Washington might be the place. You maybe could start your own business there and run them numbers, baby. Rural maternity care desert. So 12 counties lack OBGYN services, and that's what you have to just get when you are there. So top employers: Amazon, Microsoft, Boeing, Providence Health, Costco, T-Mobile. So there's about 10 top employers. Go to the website if you want more on this. Emerging employers: TerraPower. That's Bill Gates' nuclear startup. This dude started in computers, Microsoft, and now he's doing nuclear startups. He's buying agricultural land for food. What is going on with Bill Gates? TerraPower. Sometimes I just gotta stop and do a moment of silence in these things, because the thing don't add up. But now I'm gonna trust Bill Gates in a nuclear plant. I didn't even trust him in 2020. But guys, if you think about Washington, I think your views are different from mine. Pokemon. That's an emerging employer. All right. Blue Origin is a space venture and it's growing. Okay. All right. So 7 best places to live. I usually like giving 5. Here's 7. Well, here's 5. Bellevue, Bellingham, Spokane, Olympia, Walla Walla. I just want to live in Walla Walla because the name. Where you from? Walla Walla. Where you at? Walla Walla. Come over here. It's the wine country gem over there in Walla Walla. Okay. All right. So areas facing challenges. Everett. They depend on Boeing. If Boeing's up, the city's up. Boeing's down, a plane crashes, the 737 Neo, what we're talking about. Hey, that's a problem for them. Yakima has an agricultural downturn. Let me see if I see these places on the map. Oh, look at Walla Walla over there next to the grapes. Love it, love it, love it, love it. All right. Yakima, agricultural downturn, and Forks is remote and rainy. Nobody want to be in Forks. That's that Seattle, baby. That's that Washington. The rain. All right, so the final verdict. Who thrives in Washington? It's perfect for tech professionals. Let me just back up a little bit. I love the weather of Washington. I love the rain. I don't mind the rain. There's some people that, oh my God, it's raining again outside. I can't stand it. Me personally, I love being in the rain. Put on some nice jazz or classical or some 90s hip hop or just very lo-fi music. Read a book, drink some coffee, have some yogurt, and just chill with your socks on. That type of rain, okay? I love it. So let's go back into it. Who thrives in Washington? Tech professionals, aerospace engineers, outdoor adventure seekers, tax adverse high earners. They're not afraid, okay, of the gains tax and all that. Progressive policy supporters. Not ideal for budget-conscious retirees, those who hate the rain or seeing the gray skies on a daily basis, and people needing Southern-style affordability. Oil, gas industry workers, they just don't, it's not for them. So it's tech salaries, but that's higher, tips the scale greater than the sunshine. And if you need vitamin D, the place might not be for thee. Okay. All right. Let me get some. I have another thing that I wanted to add in here. So let me find it real quick. And it is the report card. This coffee is good. I went hazelnut today. And I usually don't do any of that. Like the Northeast, for me, I think they're Dunkin' Donuts lovers, right? We find Dunkin' Donuts, Jersey, New York. It's not a Starbucks kind of place in those areas. So, but your coffee could be great at the local bagel shop, at the local corner store. Like coffee is good most of the places you go to in like Jersey, let's say. And it's not this fancy throw a pump of this and then add a dab of that and then put hazelnut. Like it's straight milk and sugar, cream and sugar, very basic. So sometimes I step outside of the basic box and I go for it. And I add hazelnut creamer. Oh my God. All right. So listen, I can't pull that up right now, the report card, but it will be on the video. If you love watching this series that I put out, State Review, I have all the states. You could go back. There's a playlist on the channel, and you could go back and scan and see which one you like. You want to get to know what state has what, and if you could afford it, or if you're going to be like the 1% there. That's the beauty of things, It's like leaving a state where you were the bottom 10% and moving to a state with that same kind of income and being the top 20%. That's awesome. So check that out. Subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. Remember, the weekly report comes out on Sunday, but also, my newsletter, my email comes out. I've been working on that email all week to give to you guys. It comes out, drops Sunday morning as well. I'll see you when I see you. And I love you. Be kind to one another. Okay? Peace.